So I've started. I've invited you. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Good to have you. I see Ben. Big Ben. Welcome, man. Hey, the prince is here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good,
Good
good
evening. Good evening. Good
evening.
evening.
How are you doing today?
Fine, we're fine. We're good. I'm still at work, so I'm still trying to, you know, get it in everybody.
Man, it's
I
been a
don't know
lot of
today.
work. We just finished a birthday production for the first week.
New birthday production. What does it mean? The person is celebrating the birthday when you
Yeah.
come back to events and all that.
The first lady of House on the Rock. I'm
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
I think I saw
I'm
the
on
post.
Plum
I think I
80
saw the
today.
post. I saw the post. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to put
Wow.
together
Wow.
some videos and all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your hair, I love it. I'm
Get
getting I'm getting this style
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Define soon. How soon do you want to get it? In 5 months, in 6 months, in
Maybe next
7
year.
months? How soon?
Ah, my man. Fantastic. Okay, okay. Should we wait for other people to join in, or should we just keep the banter?
I mean, we can start. We can just do the introduction. You do the introduction. I will introduce myself, and then we ask people where they are joining from, and you know, I'm sure in the next few minutes people are
Fantastic,
going to join and all
fantastic.
that.
Okay, okay. So,
Yes.
do you know how I found you? Let me tell you. Okay, so my wife went
Ah,
online one day and saw your profile, sent it to me on WhatsApp, said I should check you out, that you're going to be a very good guest for what we're doing. And I said, well, why not? So, and here you are. I sent you a message. Very, very interesting. So, I want to appreciate you for coming on. Um, you are one of the, let me say, humblest people we've met. It didn't take us time to get you on board. You just accepted. You understood what we were trying to do, so you accepted, and here we are. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Then I've checked your page. I can see how busy you are and how creative you are with your busyness. Well done, man. Well done. It's something to
thank you
emulate.
very much.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me quickly do
Thank
a
you.
short intro for you and for all our guests tonight. Church media um, is something we founded last year, myself and my colleague Adura Mega. And it's interesting because we went online, we were looking for somewhere where we could have church media people commune together as in one location. So we didn't find as at that time, so we decided let's create this community. And today we have about 120 people, members from like 30
Oh,
churches
wow.
from about 4 or 5 states in Nigeria, including one person I think
Oh,
from the UK. So that's how far we have come. And our
I
goal
see.
is to get about 5,000 people from like 1,000 churches in Nigeria. Yes. And we want to build a community that we should be proud of, where we can all learn together, share together, and build ourselves together. So, without further ado, I think we can start. I want to ask you a very simple question. How did you get into what you're doing right now? How did you get into it? Drum roll.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to our online viewers. Thank you for joining us. So, if you're just joining us, I made a post yesterday talking about how I'm going to be on live today to talk about the future of online church and how, what is exactly the future of online church, what's going to happen to church. And it's funny how, over the past couple of years, in recent times, we've actually seen a change, a visible change that happened, and
Yeah.
churches have to adapt. So it's how would I put it? It's not a facade. It's not a gimmick. Neither is it a folk tale or a magic that is saying that see, the future is going to change. We're in changing times, so the church needs to adapt and change to fit into what is happening right now. So basically, to answer your question, I think I've always been a church boy. I've been in church all my life. My dad is an elder in church. My mom is a deaconess in church. That always, I mean, that was the first thing I knew. And I think I could read the Yoruba Bible
Wow.
before I could read the
Wow.
English Bible.
Interesting.
Yes, because my mom, she reads Yoruba Bible. So, I mean, I could read the Yoruba Bible before the English Bible. And you know,
Yeah.
I grew up in church, in the choir. I mean, I understand how the church works and everything. And so when I was on 200 level, I
Sorry,
joined
sorry to cut you.
a
Sorry to cut
church
you.
that
What is Pharaoh in Yoruba? Pharaoh.
Pharaoh. It's Pharaoh now. You say
You
it's
know it, you
Pharaoh.
know it. What about
It's Pharaoh.
Nebuchadnezzar?
Pharaoh. I'm trying to
Ah,
remember. Nebuchadnezzar.
my dear,
Yeah.
you know it, you know it, you know
Yeah.
it.
Actually, sometimes you have to pay for me to recite something. Folks. You have to pay, you know. Eh? You want
Well,
me to recite and you shout it on me, and you don't want to. You want to see me in private. You understand? So basically, yeah, I grew up in church, the Apostolic Church to be precise, and that is the foundation of my faith. That is how I mean, I've been exposed to church early enough. But I joined a church. I joined the workforce of a church when I was in, I think, 200 or 300 level, and I was in the content creation team, and that built me up to be able to create easy content for churches. I mean, I find it easy to be able to say, okay, this is how you create the content for church. This is how you do it. Aside the fact that I'm a content creator, I'm managing social media pages, I create and all that. It's easy for me to say, okay, this is the kind of content I want to create for church. And I professionally got into it in 2018 when I came to Abuja. I mean, one of the first people I've handled was, I mean, a pastor. In 2018, I handled a pastor, and then I was able to build it with a couple of other people and all that. And gradually, it became a thing. I mean, I didn't start professionally until 2018. But before 2018, I had already started working in the church workforce, creating content and all that. So professionally in 2018, I started doing it and all that. And back in 2020, my boss, that's George Omar, he just decides. I mean, we looked at the demographics of our clients, we looked at the percentage of them, and we're like, it seems like we have more people in the church as our clients. So why not just dedicate an arm of the business specifically to grow churches, to help them with their communication, to help pastors, to help non-governmental organizations, to help gospel ministers, because we found out that it's easy for us to easily do. My boss is most of the things, 100% of the things I know when it comes to church media and all that, my boss taught me. And he's like, let's dedicate an arm of the government. I mean, I said government, an arm of the business to, helping churches. I mean, he's someone that he loves the church. He understands why there is a need for people like us to, to push the gospel to I mean, at the end goal, the Bible says to go into the world, to preach the gospel into the hands of the earth. And one of the things we need to be able to use to do it is technology. Because when Jesus was alive, during the days of the apostles, they had their own medium of communicating the gospel. They had their own way of pushing the agenda of the kingdom. So with times, with each century, with each generation, a new medium is going to come to pass the message of God. So I mean, it just makes sense to say, okay, we are Christians. Our quota is to be able to do this. In as much as, of course, we're going to be paid for it and all that. Let's just start doing it. There are tons and tons of projects we embarked on that was just pro bono. It was just pro bono. We're just doing it. Okay, let's do this. And I've sat down and studied the church media space. It's easy. I mean, I've studied how to do, communication plan, how to grow churches, set up churches, how to do PR for churches, how to, build websites. So we have a plethora of services we can offer any church. It's not just a one size fits all. We have, if it's a social media management you want to do, we have it. If it is, a plan you want to do on how to grow your church, communications plan. If you want to recruit for your church, we can handle it. If you want to set up new churches in new locations, we can do it for you. If you want to do billboards, we set it up for you, and then we'll do it for you. So basically, since then, it's just been, when you do something, you get better at it. You know how it works. You know how the church works. I've been in church all my life. I know how it works. My boss has been in church all his life. So it's just easier for us to. It's not everybody, it's not everybody that just has the knack to be able to create content for church, to be able to cut videos, to be able to know the kind of
Yeah.
content people are going to respond to, that kind of thing. So there was just the need to fill that space because the Bible says the children of the world are wiser. So the gospel needs people like us, like you and I, to push the gospel. And I mean, the timely message, the message of Jesus is timely. It is the same yesterday, today, and forever. But the medium at which you pass the message is changing. So you and I are the people that will air out, the communication of the church, ensure that the gospel is being passed in several ways. Pass and push on everything. So basically, that is how I got into.
Fantastic. Okay, let me ask one question. You said you joined your fellowship media team in 300 level. Okay, so what led to that? How did you find yourself?
Okay, so I started working in social media in 200 level, and what I did was I was creating tweets for celebrities. I was creating tweets. I found it easy to easily create tweets and grow people's accounts, create content, that kind of thing. So I found it easy, and I'm like, the best way for me to serve a church is to be in the media unit. That's easy. That's the best, most effective way to do it. Just be in the church media space, do what you need to do, and that is how it started. So I've always found content creation easy to me. I used to tell people that I think in videos. Most of the time, when I see something, I'm thinking in videos. I'm thinking, oh, this can be like this. This can be like this. So I've always
thinking in video. I think that's a gift. That's uncommon. Most people don't even identify their giftings until much later. But you, fortunately, you were able to identify it on time, and that early. And look at the impact you've had since 2018 till now. I can testify to the goodness of God. To the goodness of God. Okay, so I wanted to share your observation or your observations about social media, church social media generally. What do you see going on? What do you think people are doing right? What can they do better in their churches?
Okay. I think in the Nigerian church space, the sky is the limit for us. One, I would like to give kudos and to flowers to the churches that are really doing well. I mean, there are a few churches that are really doing well when it comes to getting the youth. Excuse me. There are a few churches in Nigeria that are doing it and are getting it right. We've all seen we've all seen the likes of Sunday TNT that is doing with Street Church. You understand? I love what Street Church is doing. I have to give them their flowers. They're really doing an amazing work. There are some churches that are really doing great work, social media wise. They're pushing out the content. They're showing that they have a community. But there is still a whole lot of churches that are not doing what they need to do to get people to church. We are not in the conversation. What do I mean by we're not in the conversation? We are not. There are a whole lot of things going on right now. There's a culture shift. Right now, we are experiencing a culture shift and a communication shift. A culture shift in the sense that there are slangs and languages that are coming up right now that, I mean, Gen Zs are spending their time on YouTube. They don't even think, oh, going to church is a necessity. 2 out of every millennial right now would think, oh, it's not necessary, it's not important for me to go to church now. Why am I even going to church? They are not even addressing the issues the church needs to address. So the church is not staying in the conversation in the sense that how to, for example, how to be, by emotional intelligence, that kind of thing, there are skills that you would need as a Christian. Some churches are not addressing that. They are not addressing how to be in conversation of the community. They are not addressing how to, for example, most churches, not all, most churches shy away from their members being politicians. Most churches don't even talk about how a businessman needs to be excellent. They're not even talking about that. They're not talking about how, before you can even preach the gospel to someone, you need to have substance. Yes, the gospel, you have the Bible, you have Bible knowledge, you're smart, you read the Bible, you can kabash, you pray. But when it comes to competing in the marketplace, you cannot compete in the marketplace. Why? Because we spend so much time consuming the Bible, we are not consuming the knowledge that we need to be able to penetrate the marketplace and bring the gospel to them.
Okay.
Our content, our churches are not addressing that. Of course, yes, the church is doing so well when it comes to getting people to accept Jesus Christ, getting people to come to church, healing people and all that. But I feel that is still not enough. We need to find different creative ways to push the gospel. We need to enter into the music industry, which I love. In the last 3 years, the gospel music industry has boomed. The likes of Great Man, the likes of Limo Blaze, the likes of Leon Joe. They brought Afrobeat they've infused Afrobeat into Christian songs. So I can really be dancing in my house and I'm listening to Christian songs without having to listen to vulgar words, without having to listen to some certain ones that I shouldn't edify my spirit with. That is one aspect of the gospel. Mind you, the gospel is not just only about the pastor preaching on the pulpit. No. The gospel is about every other thing involved in it. Other businessmen that are Christians, they are doing well, they can really preach the gospel, they can talk and all that. Musicians that are doing their own. And then the entertainment industry, which is the movie industry. We really need to the church needs to tap into this. Because now, for every 10 movies you see on Netflix, 8 or 9 or maybe all of them are going to have gay in it. What is the church doing about this? Are we sponsoring movie actors? Are we sponsoring movie producers? What are we doing about movie writers? That is what I love. I love what Joshua Family is doing right now. Mount Zion Films has been in existence since I can remember. But they needed to change to adapt to what is going on right now, to what is the culture is right now. And then he's bringing modern thinking into the movie, and he's doing well. A case in point was the Enoch movie of Pastor A. It was fantastic. It was everywhere. That is what I feel, I think, and I expect the church should be doing. Imagine if 10 churches come together and say for the next 10 years, our own role is to push Christian movies. Our role is to push 10 musicians who will be singing Christian songs, and then it will be airways everywhere, it will be pushing everywhere. Yes, they can support it with the preaching on stage. The pastor is preaching in church and everything. But what are we doing to send? Thank you, Shio. Mount Zion is not a church, it's a movement. That is what I expect the church to do. The church to create interdenominational movements like this, that they will have different sole purposes. What happens to creating a movement whereby they are just setting up schools, Christian schools in different locations? Oh, for the next 10 years, we have, so where I see the office. In the next 10 years, we're going to set up 30 Christian schools in 30 states. That is possible. And then we are sending our children there. It's the standard for every other schools. It has everything and all. We are pushing it. Our movies are standard. We are doing what we need to do. We are not filtering it with what the world needs to do. We are just pushing what we need to push. The other side is pushing the agenda. We are pushing the agenda of kingdom. Because my fear is the people, our children, the children that are coming after us are going to be exposed to things they shouldn't even be exposed to. So what are we doing? What foundation are we laying? So I think when it comes to media, when it comes to social media, yes, the church is doing fantastic. I will give us probably 50 over 100, but we need to do more. The church needs to get into the entertainment industry. We need to fund. We need to fund. I mean, the other side sit down. They come up with strategic ways.
Yes, and they push it hard.
They push it hard with money, with influence,
all platforms.
With platforms. What is happening to us? What is happening to the Christians? I mean, just like you said, we call ourselves the body of Christ, but we are not united. We don't have a goal in mind. Everybody is just doing their own, which is fantastic. But we need to come together as well to get into this entertainment industry and click it, and it goes. So that's what I just feel like that's what they need to start doing right now. Because take for example, someone like TD Jakes is already producing movies. TD Jakes is already producing movies, and then it's on Netflix, it's on this, it's on Amazon. That is the way to go about it. He has a business he's doing, and then he's pushing the business.
I see.
Kingdom way.
I see. Okay, so from your response, I'm hearing a few things, and I just want to point them out one after the other. So I heard the youth, because social media is looking like a platform for getting the youths into church or getting them involved with the gospel. Yeah. Yes. So now you're saying we need to get the youths on board, and the way we're going about it, it's not youth friendly. So we need to get ourselves involved more there. Then we need to do more than just preach the gospel of stop sinning, give your life to Christ. Then let's go. Exactly.
It doesn't work anymore.
So let's go into
it doesn't work.
Yes, go ahead.
A case in point. A case in point was about two weekends ago. I went for evangelism in church, and I was talking to this guy. I didn't even start with gospel. I just asked him, "What are you doing? Did you go to school?" All those things. We just started with a normal conversation, and then it moved into the gospel and all that. And in relating with him, he said, "Oh, the task force just collected his goods and everything. He's unable to sell to feed his younger siblings and his mom." And I'm like, okay. And then I started preaching and all that, one thing led to another. I'm like, okay, fine. Do you believe that Jesus loves you? He said he believes. Do you know that if you believe him and all that, everything will work together for you? But before that one starts, I will buy you this, and this, just for me. He was shocked that he didn't know me from anywhere. It doesn't, and then it did. And then for 3 people, I was able to lead 3 people to Christ. I invited them to church. They came to church. And I had to send money to them. Trust me, I had to buy food for the 3 of them. I had to send money to the 3 of them. And then I was able to lead them to Christ. It made me understand why there was always feeding. When Jesus was preaching, there was always feeding. Because you need to meet people's need first. Before anybody, imagine you can't preach to someone that is hungry. He's hungry, that person is not going to hear you.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to meet people at the point where they are at. So the youth are on social media. If Jesus was ministering today, he probably will have still Ronaldo's numbers.
Yes, you will definitely have, and you will probably be the most controversial dude ever. You will probably be controversial. The authorities don't like him. The authorities don't like him because he's going to be saying the truth as it is. He's going to be, doing so much things, and he's going to have so much followership that even governments are going to be scared of him. You can imagine the Roman government being scared of Jesus. They are scared of what he is capable of doing. So, I mean, he will probably will have a lot of following, and then he will probably, interact with a lot of people you
Fantastic.
and I will
Okay,
not
so
interact with.
that basically brings us to how do we use our social media better? Let's look at it. Are we just supposed to post Ephesians 5:10, get people to see our knowledge of scripture there, our knowledge of Bible here? Is that what we should be doing on social media? What are we supposed to be doing that will get us our target audience?
Okay. Of course, we still need to be able to post those Bible verses, the Ephesians, all those things. We still need to post it. But remember, I said
Yeah.
there's a culture shift.
Yeah.
Things are changing. We are moving in direction of. I mean, we live in an age where everything works fast. It's moving fast. It's moving fast. So the best way to utilize social media right now for churches is to show them that churches have communities.
Beautiful.
God created us to be relational beings. We are relational beings, and people who are not in communities, people we long to feel among. We long to belong to a certain group of people. I mean, you understand? You will see that. You will see we have cliques in places. We have organizations. We have associations and all that. So we need to be able to show that there is a community in church. And what do I mean by community? I mean that beyond just the pulpit, beyond just preaching, there are people in church who are being touched, who their lives are being changed, who they know that, oh, if I come to this church, I'm going to, aside from my spiritual needs, my normal needs, my intellectual needs, my businesses are going to be met. That is why you will see some churches, they have businessmen fellowship, they have new mothers fellowship, there's a children church, different different pockets of communities and churches. We need to be able to create content in such a way that they are different. Let me give an example. A business. If someone is trying to grow a business, you're trying to run a business, there are certain things you need to do. One thing you need to do is you need to get testimonials from people that you've helped, probably from your customers or from people that work within the organization. Testimonials. You need to be able to push testimonials. You need to be able to show the culture of the place. What is the culture of your church? How do you or how do people relate to your church? You need to show the culture of your church. There are different ways to show the culture of your church. Now people are spending time on TikTok, people are spending time on Instagram, you're scrolling through and everything. How are you staying in conversation with them? You need to create content. Now a lot of people now are doing content creation. You need to create content that resonates with them. You need to create content that they can relate to their daily life. You need to create content that you need to be in there are some conversations that are going through people's head. For example, people are depressed, people are hungry, people don't know how to get their purpose, people are not sure of what they need to do. So the church needs to be able to create content in that aspect and tie it to the Bible. Oh, are you depressed? Are you feeling alone and all that? Jesus is the answer. I know it is what you're feeling is okay. How you're feeling is
valid.
You're not a stranger to this. But come here, it's valid. But this is how you can tackle this. This is how this can happen for you. This is how you need to be able to do it. You need to be able to tell people excellence. As a young person in church, these are the things you need to be able to do to get this, and this done. Organize conferences in church, invite guest speakers, and teach people certain skills. Teach people how to fish. I'll put it that way.
Fantastic.
Teach people how to fish. Teach the church members, like I said, to push the gospel. You know, there's this saying that they always say when I was younger.
True.
You understand? Money, to literally interpret that for those that don't understand Yoruba is, it is money that you
money is the
push push the gospel.
Of the gospel.
You cannot push. Money is the
That
vehicle.
the gospel will ride
money.
on money.
How? Because I mean, there are churches right now, winners right now, which is millions and billions of people all over the world. Do you think if there's no money, would they be able to reach millions and hundreds of millions? You are here, they are in Ota, and then you are streaming to millions of people all over the world. They are watching you. Different churches doing all those and everything. It is money. And for them to be able to make money like that, it needs people like you and I to have businesses in the marketplace. You understand? And then we are pushing it. And then we need to have people at the top who are who are Christians, who are doing really well, to be in the conversation as well. If I'm looking up to someone who is a billionaire and is a Christian, he doesn't hide his Christianity, he doesn't hide his faith. That is the HD. For example, Cosmas Maduka, the owner of Constance Motors, he is unashamed of the gospel. He's pushing it. We need more people like that in the church to be able to push and all that. And when it comes and to piggyback on the content and everything, we need to be able to. It's not all about. I feel the Holy Spirit is not aggressive. So we need to be able to have fun in church as well. We need to show people
that there's the fun side to the gospel.
We need to. There's a fun side to the gospel. There's a fun side to Christianity. So churches need to tap into these different sectors that address the felt needs of people. People have needs. As long as they can attend to that need, I mean, you've solved 90% of the issue. You've solved 90% of the problem.
Yeah.
Because it's a mindset thing. Once you're able to engineer the mindset of people, that's everything. I mean, there's no need for laid over and say, I chase you out, I do this out. No. Practical steps. The church needs to also show us practical steps on how to overcome certain things. Of which, I mean, churches are doing already and all that, but we need to intensify it.
I get you. Fantastic. I want to say thank you to you so far. You're scoring 100 over 100. You're hitting the point. And thank you to everyone who are online. I'm seeing Kiss Perfumes, Ben Server, Ehisu Bebe, Peter Emmanuels, Lucia Tang. I'm waving at all of you. Thank you for coming online. We truly appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, I want you to just take a little break. We're going into session 2. And if you have a question, please drop them and our admin will pick them up for me. I would read them out to our fantastic guests. All right. So I am starting a new church somewhere in Iyanokwaja. And I've heard about social media, how to use social media. From day one, can you give me my strategies? What am I? I'm a pastor now. I'm a pastor. And I'm starting a church there. And I have just a few people, let's say some youths and some adults. But how do I go about handling my social media? I don't have a clue.
All right, that's really good. Thank you. So I mean, like I said earlier, we've handled church setup for several ministries in the past, and there are basic steps that we always need to follow. You understand? The first thing that you need to do is what we call a recce. A recce says that you need to go to the area. God has told you, you need to set up a church here. This is what you need to do. Fine, fantastic. But you will still need to be excellent as well in how you set it up. What you first need to do is what we call a recce. What do I mean by a recce? A recce means you go to the area, you look at the environment, you look at what is the percentage of the age, the age range, the percentage of the men, the women, the children, what are they doing, what is their major occupation, what goes on around there, what's the culture of this place, what are the things
Yeah.
the do's and don'ts of this area. What are the challenges they are facing in this area? And then the next thing you need to do is you need to start a community engagement. A community engagement in the sense that you have volunteers who understand this community. They understand how this community works. Community engagers go into the community and start talking to people. Okay, what do you need? How can we help you? We're a church, this is what we do, but we'd love to help you. We are setting up a church in a few weeks, in a few months. What can we do to help you? What problems do you need solved? Once you've been able to achieve, once you've done that, you move to the next stage. In the sense that you probably start solving that problem, however you can solve it, whatever you can do, so that they know that there's a presence of the church is coming here, this person is coming here. The next thing you will need to do is you need to start. So all these things that you're doing, you're documenting it. The people are talking to people, they are leading people to Christ. The churchmen, the church volunteers are, engaging in community activities. They are documenting this. They are probably going there to, let's say, for example, you need to have a medical outreach. You need to have a medical outreach. If that's what they need, you do free medicals and all that. You document it. You push it. Oh, our church was here to do so and so for this community because we believe that God is love. Whatever it is love. That is one. You've done that. You're posting it. The next step is now to, if possible, to have a crusade or to have something or a musical concert, depending on the demographic of the area. If it is more of a students area, if it is, is populated by students, you know the route to go. To start it, you need to probably do a musical concert to let people know that, okay, we are coming, we understand this, and then you move to you document it, you push it out, oh, this is what we're doing and everything, or you have a crusade. The crusade, or you have a crusade, a healing crusade or anything, a program where they are healed, people give their life to Christ. Or you have a skill acquisition program where you are teaching people of the community how and what they need to do to survive. You're teaching them how to fish. But this is really done in the sense that they've seen you, they know that you care about them. When the church starts, they are going to come.
Okay.
So you see that it's in as much as social media is there, but the offline would inform
the offline.
The online.
Yes, the offline.
You start the ground.
Yes.
The offline inform the online. So the community, they see that you care about them and all that. You've done a crusade or you've done a concert, you've done a skill acquisition program. The next thing is not to have fellowships, small fellowships and all that. You are not starting small fellowships that are, you gather people together, you preach to them, you talk them, you tell them this is how you do it, what you need to do and all that. Gradually, it starts getting bigger. And then at the end of the day, you say, okay, we're having our inaugural service. Our inaugural service, and you're probably going to invite guest speakers, guest artists for them to come and sing and all that. It's starting, it's going like that. So once you've done the inaugural service, then you need to keep the momentum. You need to find ways to engage the community. You need to find ways to now start recording. Okay, this person's life has changed. How has it changed? You document it. Remember, testimonials. You document it, you push it. Okay, how is the church benefiting? How is the community benefiting from the church? Through the skills acquisition program, through solving the problems in the community and all that. You start pushing it out there. You let people see that your volunteers are interacting with the community members. You need to just show them that you care. We are human beings. We need to feel loved. We need to feel understood. We need to feel seen. If you're able to show the community that the church sees you, the church understands you, the church loves you, everything is
okay.
For you.
Okay. So I heard you, and there's something you're big on throughout that conversation. It's document it. So how do I document it? I get a camera.
So
What do I need?
So it depends on what I would say. It depends on the what's it called, the size of the church. It depends on the size of the church, what they need, how much they want to invest in setting up a new church. But easily, mobile phones can easily do the
Fantastic.
documentation.
You don't have to wait
Mobile phones
to
can easily
buy
do
a
documentation of what you're
high
doing.
camera.
A big camera, a high-end camera for you to document what the church is doing, what the church is doing in the community.
Yeah.
You can start with the phone, recording, getting people engaged and all that, telling people, okay, so how was your first experience with this social person, this social church? What did you feel? Oh, this person got healed. You record, okay, how did you get healed? What happened? How did it happen for you? At what point did you understand? Did you realize that this is what you need? People are telling their stories of how they came in contact with your church, and then it's inspirational, it's inspiring, it's emotional. So you document it, and then you put it on your laptop, you save everything. And because if you don't document it, how would you know that your church is making impact? How would you be able to look back into the progress and see what you're doing? So you need to document it. You need to tell. It's telling a story. So you're telling a story. People need to see that they are doing this. I love it. I would love to be a part of this church to be able to do this.
Yeah, to really have impact online, you have to see yourself as storytellers, so that you're telling a story of every single part of your expressions. Okay, I have two questions. The first one, can I run a purely online church?
Definitely, absolutely.
Like, I'm not going to have any real estate footprint. I'm just in one room. Okay. What?
We also that it happened during the pandemic. For the longest time, the physical church, we were not gathering physically. Everybody was online. So there are tools. There are tools that have been set up by brilliant people who God has given the mind that you can easily. I can be here in Nigeria right now, and I'm reaching millions and billions of people. So what am I going to use? I mean, there's MixLR, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's Facebook. But then, in as much as you want to have an online church, there has to be a structure to it as well. People have to, there's a website where people register to be, it's just how we do growth track and all that in the physical church. People will need to be able to do all these things online as well. We have our services and this and this. There are communities, just like there will be communities in church, physical church. There will be pockets of communities on WhatsApp where there's a leader, there's a group cell leader that knows what everybody is doing, reaches out to everybody and all that.
Fantastic.
I mean, so you can easily do an online church, easily from the comfort of your home.
Sure. Okay, so we had a discussion yesterday, and I told you about setting up a social media team in your church. That's one of the challenges pastors have. They don't know how to set this team up. Who am I supposed to have in this team? Okay, the people in my church are lawyers and doctors and architects. Who among these people is supposed to be running my social media? Who am I supposed to be looking out for?
So anybody can actually run a social media page and create content for your church as long as they are creative. They have the know-how on how to do it. I know lawyers who work in the church media and they are really good. They are photographers, they are video editors, they are writers. So, as we grow up, we were picking some of these skills one after the other because, we're in Nigeria. So you would see there's someone in my team in the office who studied law. But she's really good with social media. And then she's a makeup artist as well. Yes. Do you understand? So that kind of person in there, if she's willing to volunteer in a church, it's easy for her to volunteer in a church. So whatever you need to look at, so the criteria to look for in people that are handling the church is one, they have to be creative. They have to be creative for you to be in the church, because if you're not creative, it's just easy to, you just be monotonous. The things you're going to be pushing are just going to be the same thing over and over and over again. So people, they have to be creative, and creativity, it might not be 100%, but at least you will know, that person that is always sarcastic in church, that person that is good at making videos, that person that is taking pictures, you understand, that person that is good at creating content on social media. They have to be creative. The person has to, have the knowledge of how the media works. The person needs to know how the media works. You need to know, okay, this is pastor's parts of the message I need to cut that will get people's attention. You don't just say, oh, let me just hold this part and push it. No.
Hold on. Can that be taught? Can you learn it?
Yes, of course. You can learn what you need, the parts you need to cut in a pastor's message.
I mean, creativity generally. Can I learn how to be creative?
Yes, I believe so. I believe God has given us a mind that is really amazing. So if you put yourself to say, I need to learn how to be creative. Of course, there are some. A case in point is Ronaldo and Messi. Who is more talented? But then Ronaldo has to be disciplined. He has to go the extra mile to ensure that is. So, I mean, if someone can learn a skill like that, I think someone can learn how to be creative. You just need to expand the mind. It's a mindset thing. You need to expand your mind and see, if I'm really interested in this, this is how I'm going to do it. So there's no really any limit to what the criteria the pastor would need to look out for when he's setting up the social media thing. But they just need to be creative, irrespective of their field of study, irrespective of where they are coming from and all that. You just need to have the zeal and the discipline to say, okay, this is what I want to do. The person has to be creative, the person needs to be trendy. Yes, the person has to be into what is going on right now. What new creative way can we push to ensure that our message is going out, that people are hearing, because people are knowing about us. If the person is consistent, it's not just that the person is going to join and then the person is not going to do anything, or the person will stop. The person is going to stop, do it now and then they are not consistent in another 2-3 days. Thank you, Principal. When you are willing, creativity is taught. Of course, yes, creativity, some people have it inbuilt in them.
Yes.
But some people have to learn it. Some people have to learn creativity. So yes, people that are interested in handling the social media pages in the church can learn creativity as well. They can shadow people, they can watch videos to show them, okay, this is the way you think about it, this is how you go about it.
Yeah.
So, and creativity can be learned. So there's no Nigeria happened.
Back up. Okay. So you said creativity can be learned. I totally understand, and that's your example about Messi and Ronaldo. Very apt. Messi, we probably won't see another Messi in another 50 years, 20 years, but we can create Ronaldos as many as we want. Just discipline, strategy, planning, motivation. Those things.
Thank you. I mean, that's what you said is good. Yes, everybody, because if God created us in His image, it means that we are smart. It means we can think. If God could be creative enough to create the heavens and the earth, if God is creative enough to create trees, to create animals, to create different things, to create fish, it means that we have the ability in us to be creative. Only if we are willing enough to tap into it.
Okay. So let's look at the future. We discussed about the future.
All right. Oh, my favorite
uh,
topic.
what's the future like? What's the future like? There's something I saw some days ago and I was impressed. Somebody was saying a day will come, your customer relations, you will have some bots doing it. So just imagine you go on the church social media handle, you're asking, so where can I get this? Where can I get that? Just a bot is going to answer you.
The boss will just
Yeah,
reply you,
I'm
oh, you
depressed.
can get this
I
on
need
so located.
guidance on one, two, three. It's just quote scriptures for you. Do you understand? So what's the future like for media? What's it like technology wise?
So, technology-wise, the future is endless for
Mm-hmm.
churches if we can tap into it. I mean, right now we are using. I mean, right now some churches. I know some churches that
Mm-hmm.
their database is online. You are attending a church. You scan a barcode. You scan a barcode. You type in, oh, this is how you're able to get to church and all that. You fill in the form. They get it. Somebody calls you. Oh, this is we thank you for coming to church and all that. The future of the church is if we are not careful, if the church is not evolving with the times, we would our message, the message of the gospel will be lost in the noise. Remember, like I said earlier, the children of the world are wiser. If they are wise, they will keep coming up with ways to
Yes.
stay relevant. So the future for the church is we need to come up with creative ways to stay
Hmm.
relevant in people's lives. Because right now, a lot of things that are not edifying are springing up here and there. People are
Hmm.
seeing it as being normal. And people are seeing it as being okay to do some certain things. In which, when I was younger, what is normal right now wasn't normal. We would feel scared, oh, I shouldn't do this.
Yes.
But now
Yes.
it's becoming normal. So the church should need to find a way to awaken that consciousness in people. So the future of the church right now is moving towards technology is on the rise. The church will need a church that is not adapting to technology will not be able to reach a lot of people. You need to adapt to technology. You need to be able to reach people online. You need to be able to
Mm-hmm.
attend to
Mm-hmm.
people's need online.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to utilize. I mean, AI is on the rise. People are saying AI is going to take people's job. I'm of the opinion, no, AI cannot
Okay.
take
Why?
people's job because I feel there are things AI can do, and then there are things human beings are
Yes.
better
Yes.
at doing. Yes, AI can try and write emotional messages, but the human being that is preaching it has gone through it. He understands how you feel. So AI cannot connect with you on an emotional level like the human being, excuse me, like the
Mm.
human being can
Mm.
connect with you. So they're saying, oh, AI is going to take, no. I mean, I mean, it probably will come, some people will lose their job and all that, but
No,
it
I
can't take
think
over the
society will
entirety of the
reorganize
human.
itself one way or the other. AI has its part, but human beings have their parts to play in making AI work. So, and that.
Definitely. So when it comes to communication as well, the future of church communication is it needs to we need to be in the conversation in people's head. We need to be in the conversation of people. We need to know their felt need is what are they going through. So church communication needs to address this. It needs to address the fact that yes, we understand there's the moral evidence in the society. This is what we feel. This is the Bible. This is what the Bible says about it. This is what God feels about
True,
these kind of
true,
things.
true.
So the future of communication, it needs to be. We need to be human. We need to calm down. We don't need to stay on our pedestal and say, oh, we are better than you. I mean, we are higher than this and all that. So we need to be able to communicate the felt needs of people.
True.
People are going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly speaking, people
Mm-hmm.
are going through a lot. So you need to be able to communicate to them and say, the church cares about you. We love you. Let's help you. Become a part of our
Right,
community. This and this and this and
right,
this. And
right.
that's just it. I mean, if Jesus could create a 12 disciples, it means there was a community of people that they belong to. There was a community everybody belonged to.
True.
So we need to be able to, find a common balance to say, see, come, we know you're a sinner. It's fine. Come into church. The church is like a hospital. It is not healthy people that are in church that are in the hospital. It is people that are sick that needs to be healed that are in the church, that are in the hospital. So there is a way the way the communication is to come in the sense that you're trying to bring someone to Christ and you're saying they should change by force.
True.
It doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process.
True.
Come to church. And within 3 months, it will stop. Or those habits you have, it's going to stop gradually. It's a gradual process. We need to be, the church communication needs to be able to pass this across to people. That is the future. They need to be able to say, see, we understand you're a prostitute, and that is fine. But God loves you. He hates the act, but he loves you. And he wants what's best for you. So what we're going to do, because you came to church for the first time, doesn't mean you stop being a prostitute. You probably do it for a while, but then you are re-engineering the mind, and then before you know it, the person is changed.
Absolutely.
It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a gradual process. So we need to be real. We need to connect to people's emotions. The church communication needs to be able to align with what people are feeling, what people are thinking, what people are going through. That is the future of church communication. Yes, technology is going to be there. You can reach people in their homes, wherever they are, you can reach them. But in talking to them, you need to speak their language. You need to be in a conversation that is already in their head.
Fantastic. Okay, so I think we've come to the end of today's session. Look at, I could sit down here and talk to you for another 1 hour. I have a lot to talk to you about, but no, not today. Let's not keep people for too long. Let's stick to time. We're talking about excellence here, and you are an excellent communicator, a creative, excellent creator. Thank you so much for coming on the platform. I'm seeing some people just joining. Look at you. We are sharing the grace. So we are sharing the grace. Okay.
I think this is your wife, right?
How did you know my wife?
She's your wife, yes.
This man, see how he work. You are doing FBI. Okay, so
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for your contributions. We really appreciate them. I want to say thank you to you again, and I want to say we will be very glad to bring you again sometime very soon to just draw from your wealth of understanding and wisdom. We have some few announcements. Adura, where are you? Let's announce some things. We want people to. Who has a question?
Do you have any questions from people?
Does anyone have a question there? Even though we've run out of time, we will take 1 or 2. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. Okay. So there you have it. You can go to our bio on the Church Media X bio, and you'll be able to join our WhatsApp group. We have a community that is buzzing there. We share and learn on that in that community, and that's what we're growing right now. Is what has grown to what we're doing right now. Just imagine another couple of months, we're talking to people from the US, from the UK, from the Eastern Hemisphere. So we plan to do big things. We're planning to do conferences. We're planning to do expos. We're planning trainings, and you'll be one of our facilitators, definitely. We would love to hear from you. Okay, so guys, in the absence of any questions, okay, I'm seeing contributions. Contributions are welcome. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, in the absence of any questions, I just want to ask my dear brother here, do you have any parting words for us so that we can wrap this up and call it a night?
All right. So my passing word is going to be the message of the gospel is simple. We should stop overthinking it and just share the gospel. We should stop overthinking what people are going to say. We shouldn't care about what people are going to think. The gospel is the gospel. It's not red, it's not blue and white, yellow, green. It is
Yeah,
black and white. It is straightforward. So we shouldn't be as Christians. We shouldn't be ashamed to share the gospel. Let people know what you stand for. Let people know this is who you are. This is you serve the living God. You serve the one and only true King. And in as much as you're serving a God who is great, who is amazing, you yourself you need to be excellent as a Christian, excellent in everything you do. The Bible says, whatever you
yeah,
do, whatever you touch shall multiply. Nothing can multiply from a hand that is not
true,
excellent. It's
true,
not possible.
true,
I mean, it's not possible. Nothing in that you touch that
true.
is not going to be. It's not going to prosper. It's not going to. I mean, even the Bible says He's going to multiply the works of our hand. He's going to bless it. It has to find something in what you're doing. You need to be excellent as a Christian, whatever you are, whatever you do, in your communication, in your dressing,
True.
everything. You need to be excellent, so that people will look at you and they'll be like, "This guy, I like to be like him oh, because he's a Christian. He's dressing like this. He talks this way. He does things excellently. People love to work with him because he
True.
delivers on time." That is what is going to set us apart from every other person and want people to know that, okay, these guys are different. They are excellent. In as much as they are preaching the gospel, give them, they are excellent. So, for everyone here that joined the live, that has joined the live, thank you. Thank you very much for taking 1 hour of your time to listen to me, to listen to us talk. Thank you so much. I am truly honored and thank you and
Alrighty.
God bless you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. So if you have any other questions about anything, feel free to send me a DM or drop a comment on my page,
Thank you.
and I will definitely respond to you. Thank you so much for giving me.
Thank
I
you.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
And that's it. We're calling it a night. Please go to our bio and you would see links to every expressions that we have. You know how to reach Ade.Richards in his inbox. If you have questions, if you have contributions, and if you have projects, give him projects to handle for you. Alrighty. Thank you, my brother. See you soon. Thank you,
Uh,
everyone.
Thank you so
And
much.
bye.
See
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.